Alright, that's the first completed power core. 6 primary coils and 3 pickup coils. And then 4 rectifier circuits. I have various capacitors. Wanted to see if that would make any difference. And then each one of them has an LED attached to it. A huge mess of wiring. I wouldn't suggest it to anyone. Here's a horrible experience that I never want to have again. And that's basically the whole setup that I have right now. Okay, Carl, before I forget again, after I zoom in on this a little bit, on the test I was doing yesterday, when I was talking to you on the phone, I had this crystal inside, right here, in the pickup coil. It has a small enough orifice to where I was able to insert it into the center of the coil, and then it stayed in place. Now, this morning when I woke up and checked it, I was running 2.49 some odd volts, and I pulled the crystal out to see if there'd be any change, and then over the next 45 minutes or so, the voltage climbed up to about 2.511 volts. I think it was about 45 minutes that it took to do that. So I got an increase of about 15, maybe 20 millivolts. I don't remember what the exact millivolts was at the end on the 2.49, but it was somewhere around 15 millivolts. Taking the crystal out really didn't change anything, except it's not as sensitive as it was yesterday, but it still reacts whenever I do something to it. And it looks like the charge up time didn't take but like 1 second or 2 seconds. You didn't see that. And the motor's still not going. Okay, so I'm getting 2.734 volts, 3.5 volts. Now, this is what I'm finding interesting, and I forgot to bring this up too. Not getting anything. This is on hertz. But if I remove that, now it's showing that I'm getting, well, it was showing that I was getting kilohertz. Oh, I got snagged. Right now I'm at 13 kilohertz. Okay, so I'm getting some definite differences now. Still holding good on the same voltage. But I can't get a motor to work now to save my life. Check the amps. See, 4 milliamps, or 40, sorry. When used to I was getting 4 or 5 amps from these batteries. So that's staying the same. Okay, so now I'm at 28 kilohertz for just a split second. So I caught it on a resonant spike. Let's see. No, that won't matter. I've got 1.878 volts going through one capacitor, 1.878 volts going through another capacitor, 1.874, and I'm not really getting much of anything on the last one. But it would appear that I'm only going to get work out of 3 rectifier circuits on this, because the 4th one isn't doing anything. And I've tried 2 capacitors, you just couldn't see it because it was off to the side. But it would seem that when I had the crystal inside that it was doing something. It seemed, the more I do it, the more it seems like it has the capabilities of storing energy in it. And now I'm not getting the motor to run at all. So I'm wondering if that had an effect on it. because this morning after I pulled the crystal out, the motor stopped shortly after that. So I'm going to try that again and see if the motor starts running. Not now with the video, because that's going to be a pain. But I'm going to try it here in a little bit. But it does seem as though there is a lot more capabilities with this. For instance, if I run these consecutively, if I put higher voltage than, say, a 9-volt battery, and I'm getting close enough to the 9 volts where one of them I could run, say, a microcontroller unit, and then the other I could run a laptop off of to keep it charged, then I could take it into far more computer controlled mechatronics applications. I think that's something I've been pondering for the last few days. Or I could run coils off of each one to something else to get even more output out of it further down the line. I don't know, the last couple of days has been really interesting. It's totally different. Totally different than what it was. Anyways, that's about all I got right now. I'm getting started on the second power cord, and I should be done with that by, say, Tuesday, and then I'll have another video that I can do of it.